Listen, a lot of talk these days about bullying and the mental health of our young people. Alyson Schafer is here. She's an author, has written a couple of books on the subject. She happens to be involved in this on a daily basis. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I know you've got an interesting talk coming up. Is that tonight?
That's tonight. Yes, we're at the council chambers at Centrepoint, talking about power struggles in the family.
I wanted to bring that up first because I think it's time that parents out there, and I'm sure there are a lot that want to take advantage of these information sessions and the ability to talk to experts, because a lot of parents are lost.
Oh, they are lost.
Yeah.
And just so people know, I always dedicate a huge amount to the question and answer period at the end, because everybody comes with their own little burning issue and they want to know. And what you find out, it's not just your burning issue. It turns out everybody is dealing with the same stuff.
Yeah,
Everyone's got the lippy kid that won't do the homework, that you can't get on the bus on time.
No matter what age.
Yeah, and so you're happy to know that you're not alone.
One of the things you're going to be focusing on is the power struggle. And you can call it power if you want, but it's basically authority. It's the ability to parent, I think. And sometimes using that power, if you want to call it that, in the right place and in the right circumstances is difficult to do.
Right. And it's really about shifting how we lead the family. Because what you find is that if you abuse power in your relationships with your kids in the name of trying to keep control and trying to get them on the bus or get them to get their breakfast eaten so that they aren't late, if you abuse your power with kids, the result of that is a couple of things. You're either going to raise a child who rebels, who's a sneak, or a pleaser. And so why the grin there? What was that?
Well, because
which one did you turn into?
I think I was a bit of a pleaser. Like, I would do exactly what my parents told me to do. At least they thought so.
Yeah. And so here's the problem with the pleaser. The pleaser is the one who's still looking to get reassurance that they're lovable and likable. And so they go to the chat rooms like Amanda Todd did and happily befriended somebody who she could please, who then said, lift up your shirt. And that's how the beginning of the... So it puts them at high risk for sexual predators, children that are pleasers. So you actually want an empowered kid who says, no, I'm not doing that and I'm going to tell my mom. But you don't want to lock horns with them. You also want them to eat their breakfast and get on the bus. So we got to learn how to use power appropriately and not use power in order to coerce kids. It doesn't work in the long run.
Exactly, and the rebellion comes in when you really put the hammer down all the time.
Well, that was, Good Will Hunting was a great movie about that. It was basically like, hit me harder, get a bigger belt, you're not going to break me. It doesn't work in the long run.
We had a guy on here a couple weeks ago who was talking about, making sure the parent is the, not necessarily the strong-arm disciplinarian, but the disciplinarian. In other words, taking back some of the authority that they should have. Because a lot of times, and I think that's what's happening with technology and all the things that are going on, the way we raise our kids these days, I think things have changed in that they're almost telling parents what to do.
So that's exactly my point, that if you think about our history has been superior-inferior relationships or slave-tyrant relationships. So somewhere along the line, we decided that parents should not have tyranny over kids. And what we did is we gave up all our authority.
Yeah, we went too far.
And so we're still in slave-tyrant relationships. All we've done is switch roles. And now it's our kids saying, what are you going to do? You can't make me.
I know.
Call my lawyer.
Yeah.
So it's the formula of slave-tyrant doesn't work. And it's just there's another way to organize leadership without having to go down that path. And parents don't know how to do that.
There's got to be a smoother way.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
There's got to be a happy medium between being the tyrannical, abusive, power abusive parent to the one who does nothing whatsoever.
I think what is not noticed is that those kids that are running around like little dictators in the house, they're actually scared out of their minds. They're actually saying, you mean I'm 6 years old and I have the most power in this family? That is really scary. They don't look frightened on the outside, but inside, they really are very psychically uncomfortable.
It's such an interesting discussion, and so hard to figure out.
Well, that's what tonight is all
Yeah,
about, what the other way is. How do we actually raise cooperative kids and win their cooperation rather than lording power over them so that they lord it back on us when they're unhappy?
So hard.
And we have never had a history of that. So it's new tools for the toolbox.
Yeah, exactly. Where are you speaking tonight, and how can people find out?
Well, so there's tickets through my website at AlysonSchafer.com, but we'll certainly sell them at the door. So we're in the council chamber at the Centrepoint Theatre.
At Centrepoint?
Block. Yeah, at Centrepoint.
Okay, that's a great place.
We start at 7, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll go until they kick us out, because I'll keep taking questions.
If you have any questions about where it is and when it is and all that, drop us a line and we'll get you going on the right track. Enjoy tonight.
Thank you. It should be fun. I always love coming to Ottawa.
Good.
Great families.
Always good to
Thank
see
you.
Some good advice right there, Leanne. The best advice we can give is for people who are struggling is to go to the seminar, go to the talk, and find out more.